Hey, we have got an awesome show for you today. We got tons of information about going on with the Appalachian Trail 2025 thru-hikers. So they're going to be back in gear this week. We're also going to continue talking about what's been cut out there on the trail, what's been cleared. Those awesome heroes of the trail, our trail maintainers, will be covering all of that. Want to give a huge shout out this week to the Trek for sponsoring this and partners with us on this episode this week. So a lot of great information. Let's go ahead and dive right in and see what's going on with the trail. Holy moly, have I got so much information for y'all this week. So we got 2024/25 hikers out there that are actually out there on the trail right now, thru-hikers. We got 2025 that are coming up. We got all this information coming in about what's going on the trail. Things are getting great out there on the trail. There is huge progress being made, and there's so much awesome going on. And then occasionally there's not some awesome going on, and that is, I'll give you an update on the search for Sadie, and actually the conclusion of the search for Sadie, the lost hiker dog out there. But we have got a ton of information out there for you, more than I can report coming in. I can't keep up with it, but let's go ahead and jump right in. So what's going on out there? We got Wolfie. He is on his shakedown hike. He's out there testing gear, testing his trail legs, and he's going to be starting on January 1. So let's hear his video.
Hey Rambino, Wolfie here. I'm out on a hike, my last shakedown before I start the AT on January 1st of 2025. Trying to do about 100 miles in 6 days, if I can do it. If not, it'll be 7. But just want to give you a quick update and just tell you I'm raring to go. Appalachian Trail ho.
And then our very own Luscious, he drove all the way from the Outer Banks to Canada to check his gear. So it wasn't going on a hike. He just wanted to check his cold weather gear. So anyway, Luscious, tell us what you found in Canada.
Hello, Ramdino. This is Luscious here. Bonjour from Quebec. I wanted to test out my cold weather gear, including my clothes, sleep system, everything. So I just drove north until it was cold enough. I really don't know if this is cold enough. It got down to 24 degrees here in Mont Tremblant. I'm at the summit right now, just hiked up. And it's cold, but my stuff's holding up. I'm pretty warm enough. Guess I'm ready for Georgia. Thanks for everything, Ramdino. Talk to you later.
I know. It's not pronounced Canada. It's Canada, okay? Hey, Daisy. But anyway, that's amazing. He went up there. I think I would have just went to like a local grocery store and used their freezer or something. But anyway, Luscious, that is awesome. Luscious, he does everything to the max. So he drove from the Outer Banks over into Tennessee and worked as a trail maintainer for several days there. So, man, way to go, Luscious. Cannot wait to see your hike and get your update, see how things are going up there. And then Mama Bear and Little Bear, they are going to be making another go at it. So they made an attempt last year, and I think they did somewhere like around 760 miles. So they are going to be making their second attempt. This one's going to be successful. I just about can guarantee you that. They got a charity they're going to be hiking for. I believe it's Samaritan's Purse, but she's going to share that with us. And if you'll go over to their YouTube account, and that is listed down below in my 2025 hiker support list, you'll see them down there. So go ahead and give us that video, Mama Bear and Little Bear.
Ramdino, it's Little Bear here. Hey, it's Mama Bear. And we just wanted to let you know that we are through hiking the Appalachian Trail in 2025.
Yep, we're gonna give it another go, but this time we are hiking for healing in Appalachia.
So we'll see you out there.
We'll see you out there.
And then we got Alpha Gal. So Alpha Gal has started his Sobo from Katahdin, made it all the way through the main, 2,020 plus miles. And now he is, because the weather is set in earnest, and you kind of had a warm fall there, but now it's gotten cold up there. Matter of fact, he's having, well, let's just let him show us what's going on up there on top of some of the peaks. Go ahead, Alpha Gal. wow, really, really cold. Couldn't hardly understand a word he said, but basically that is where he is stopping his Sobo of his flip-flop right now, and so he's getting off trail for the winter, going to be coming back on when it gets a little warmer, and going to be, I'm not exactly sure where he's starting, if he's going all the way back down to Springer and going to connect the two or what, but he's going to be updating us throughout the course of his adventure, so looking forward to seeing that. And then Tupac, he got started on his 24-25 flip-flop, and he started at Caledonia State Park, and he is heading Sobo. Go ahead, Tupac, give us your video.
Hi, Ramdino. Jukebox here. I started a fall, winter, spring flip-flop at Caledonia State Park on Sunday. I'm here at Penmar and having a great time. Not much water. Caledonia to tumble shelter, there was nothing. The tumble shelter is amazing though. I mean, pavilion, the spring is awesome. Plenty of water. So camel up until you get there, and then camel up again. Water is scarce out here this time of year. And a fire band. So I'll check in with you again. Thanks for all you do. We'll be talking to you.
And then we got Push. He's got his announcement. He is starting in February. Go ahead, Push.
Hey, Ramdino. This is Mike, trail name Push, making it official and announcing that I will be attempting a thru hike in 2025. I'll be starting the end of February. I'm going to book my plane ticket here in a couple of minutes, but I'm already booked at the lodge. And I also wanted people to follow along my Instagram at Mike Hikes the AT, because I will be dedicating my hike to my Uncle Jay, who had passed away from Lou Gehrig's disease, ALS, a number of years ago. But follow along, and thank you for your support, and I hope to see some of you out there. Take care. Bye.
And we got Hot Sloth. So he's on his Bama to Baxter tour, and he is done with the Pinhoti, done with the Benton Mackay. He is on the AT and Ernest and heading Nobo. So he sent in his video as well. Go ahead, take it away there, Hot Sloth.
Hey Ramdino, as you can see, I'm at Amicalola Falls, and I am getting ready to hit the approach trail. Today's November 10th. I had about a week off from the Pinhoti and BMT. Try to heal up a couple issues with my hip. I'm not totally healed up, but that's okay, because today I think there's supposed to be some rain. I'm gonna be in pain, and I'm on the way to Maine. I'll keep you posted. This is the Hot Sloth, out.
So we got all those folks. That's exciting to see all those already reporting in. Folks that have started, folks that are getting ready to start. You folks out there, the 2025 thru-hikers, and even if you're still on the trail from 2024, please report in. Love to have like a quick 30-second video, maybe a selfie of you. And then also go to the support list for 2025 hikers. The link to put yourself on that is down below, so please go and sign up for that, and then that way the hiker community can go and find your channels and be able to support you throughout your whole hike. And even if you're not doing social media, go and sign up as well. There are some hidden benefits that I can't tell you about right now for doing that, but also that you can send me updates, and then that way I know you are who you are if you're on that list, and then we will still want to keep up with whether you're doing social media or not. And speaking of sign-ups, the Trek right now is signing up 2025 Appalachian Trail thru-hikers to be a vlogger for them. So that would be an awesome opportunity to be a blogger for the Trek. So Trek is a headquarters where everybody goes to see what's going on with not only the Appalachian Trail, but the CDT and the PCT and a lot of other long trails. But right now on this channel, we're focusing on the Appalachian Trail, and you've got an opportunity to be a blogger for them. So link to be able to sign up for that is down below. You're going to get all kind of support out there. You're going to get all kind of benefits. One of the benefits is you got a ready-made audience of 10,000, maybe even 100,000 people that'll tune in and read your blog on the track out there. And what an awesome opportunity you have to influence not only your peers in the 2025 class, but classes that come after you. And you might be someone that shares your experience, and somebody out there gets on trail for the very first time because your experience influence them to do so. That would be such an awesome experience to have, to be able to share that with somebody and influence them that way. So you're going to get other benefits like some cool track swag out there. You're going to have an easy to upload platform, and the track people are going to be there to help you out, to make sure your blog goes easy for you, because they know you're out there on the trail. They know that it can be hard to blog and get that in while you're out there hiking. Still want to enjoy your trail, but we still want to hear back from you. So go down below to that link down below. It's where I go to find out what's going on when people aren't updating me. Look forward to reading all about your journey on the trek. Now, let's get to what's going on with the trail and the trail maintainers out there. So, huge news coming in right now. So, to begin with, there's funding coming in for the repairs going on, even the sawyers out there for the Appalachian Trail. So we got the U.S. Department of Transportation. They have set aside $43 million in emergency funding for Forest Service, National Park Service, and National Forest Service and Parks lands in North Carolina, Tennessee, and Southern Virginia for reclamation of that. So that is awesome. And then the AT Resiliency Fund that I talked about last time, it is up to over $500,000 right now and growing. So that's very cool too. Now, also don't forget, all those contributions are coming in, but you can also contribute directly to the trail clubs. And so the major trail clubs that are affected out there are so we got the Tennessee Eastman Hiking and Canoeing Club, so you can give to them through their website. We also got the CMC, the Carolina Mountain Club, and probably Mount Rogers Appalachian Trail Club. They'd like to have some donations as well. We'll talk about a little bit about what's going on with the Resiliency Fund up there in Mount Rogers here in just a minute. But all those are good ways to give to those where they would go directly to the club to buy saws and chains and oil and gas and take care of everything they need to do to get out there, and tools to not only clear the trail but to fix the trail from everything that's down. And we're going to go over a few things that's going to need fixing here in just a minute. So some of the AT Resiliency Fund, some of it is already gone to paying for volunteer sawyers to come from other clubs, other parts up and down the trail from other clubs, and so they have paid for room and board for them in Damascus, and they have done a ton of sawing around the Damascus area. And up until this point, the Tennessee Eastman Hiking and Canoeing Club had not gotten anything or not gotten much support from the ATC because they're concentrating in the Damascus area. Part of that is, of course, the ATC has their headquarters, one of their headquarters there in Damascus, but also the Virginia Creeper Trail was pretty much wiped out, or half of it was wiped out. And so the part that is from Damascus uphill, the coasting part of it, which has all of these trestles, a lot of those trestles were wiped out, and a lot of the trail was wiped out. And so that is a huge economic driver for the town of Damascus. And then you've also got hikers, which are secondary to that. And you got Mount Rogers nearby as well. So with the part of the Creeper Trail being taken away, and not all of it's taken away, so there is still some from just outside Damascus that you can they're running shuttles to that point, and then you can bike up to Abington, Virginia, or back. So that's still there, and you can still go to Damascus and do that. But I think one of the reasons why they have spent so much time here initially around there is because the trails and all the other trails that are around Damascus, including with the AT and the Mount Rogers, I think they are trying to make sure that, because that's such an economic driver, that we get money flowing into that place. And because there was so much damage in Damascus, and people lost everything, and people lost some stuff, and hostile damage and business damage. So I think they were trying to get that in before they started moving to the other trail clubs. So they have done a tremendous amount of sawing up there. The National Park Service and Pro Sawyers in conjunction with the Mount Rogers Appalachian Trail Club. And so now the Resiliency Fund has been in contact with the TEHCC, and they are sending them 4 sawyers that are going to be going in there. I think December 2nd is when they're going to be moving in and helping them get the rest of that section of their section cleared in there. So right now we've got somewhere around 30 miles that have not been cleared. We're going to get a little more into detail in that here in just a minute. I did want to give a shout out to the Mount Rogers Appalachian Trail Club, and they in turn want to give a shout out to the ATC. They said that the ATC has been phenomenal working with them, about being in touch with them and getting the resources they need in there. And so I wanted to, let's give credit where credit's due. So I know I rag on the AT a lot, and you guys some of you rag on me for ragging on the AT, but in this case, the Resiliency Fund looks like it's working there, and they are getting people in there. And I think because of the economic driver, all that is one reason why they've spent so much time and concentrated efforts there before they moved on. So in this case, it does look like the Resiliency Fund's getting on out there. So, but the MRATC did want to give a huge thanks out to the ATC for the work that they're doing up there. So here's what's getting done on the trail up there. Pisgah National Forest has finally opened up part of their AO. So you non-military types, that's area of operations. So they finally opened up a section there, and they have communicated that the AT is open from, let's see, they said from Davenport Gap, which of course it's open south of Davenport Gap, but Davenport Gap, which is the northern end of the Smokies, all the way up to Bald Mountain Shelter, which is approximately 7 miles south of Sam's Gap. Sam's Gap is where 26 crosses over the AT. So there's Bald Mountain Shelter, there's no out at Bald Mountain Shelter. So you're basically going to have to get to Sam's Gap and then walk up to Bald Mountain Shelter and then turn right back around and come back, because the trail is closed. The forest is closed after Bald Mountain Shelter. They're still working on clearing that area in there. So that's about a 16-mile out and back right there. But it does include Big Bald, which is a gorgeous, gorgeous overlook up there. Gorgeous bald on top. If you look on a map, it looks like there's a whole bunch of roads leading up there to that point, but all those are inside a gated community, Wolf Laurel Ski Mountain, and that's a gated community, so you can't get in there through those roads. So there's no roads up there to Bald Mountain or up to Big Bald or up to the Bald Shelter there. So that is what you're going to have to do, but that is great news. So Pisgah's kind of been really slow to open up. They say they had the most damage of anybody, but we don't need to go there. The fact is they've been slow to open up, whereas Cherokee and Jefferson have opened up, and Sawyer's able to get in there and get cleared. So that's positive news that they have opened up, and so we're just looking for more and more positive stuff to go from there. And then the AT indicates that on Pisgah National Forest lands between Bald Mountain Shelter and Doll Flats, those remain closed. So that's Nobo Mile 327 to 392. And with a caveat is that just because an area is deemed open doesn't mean that it's safe to go in there, according to the ATC. So obviously, officially, that leaves a big gap in what's open in the AT as far as being a continuous footpath. So there's a lot of stuff from Bald Mountain all the way up to Elk Garden in the Mount Rogers Recreation Area above Damascus that is currently closed. But here's an update on what's been sown. So I'm going to scroll this spreadsheet that I've put together and also this map that I've put together. When I say I really need to say we, because Bright Eyes, Sadie's mom, and we'll talk about that in just a minute, but Bright Eyes has been instrumental in putting all this together. I've been feeding her this information, and she put all this together. So thanks a lot out there for you, Bright Eyes, for doing that. And we're going to hear more about her in just a minute. But this information has been compiled from at least a dozen different sources, from trail clubs, from trail maintainers, from far out comments, from the ATC has been helping with that as well. So this is as accurate as possible as we could get it. If you're a trail maintainer or with the ATC, the MRATC, whatever, you see I've made a mistake here, I want to make that right. So please let me know if any of this stuff is inaccurate. And likewise, it may need to be updated. It's changing so much that it very well may be behind. So please let me know if it needs to be updated there. So I'm not suggesting you hike in all of these areas. I'm just giving you the information out there. So we've got red, which means that's impassable. We got yellow, that means passable / hikeable. We got green, it means it's clear, you're good to go. And then the purple are some road walks that you may have to take. And then where we don't have any color, that's an unknown section where we don't know whether it's passable or not in that area. And if you have information about that, we'd like to know. Now, passable / hikeable is, that is a relative term. So some people can hike it, some people can't. A couple other caveats coming up about that, but some people can hike that and some people can't. And to be quite honest with you, the trail clubs do not want you out there hiking in those areas where they've just come and cut the trees and now they've got to come back and do a whole bunch of tread work. So they got, you know, the treadway is beat up from washed out. You've got root balls, tons of root balls that are flipped over and they've taken part of the trail with it. All those have to be reworked. The trail's got to be filled back in. So there's a lot of trail work, and the trail maintainers don't want you in that area. Well, let me back up a minute. It's not they don't want you in that area. They do want you in that area because, as Joe Morris with TEHCC said to me in an interview that I'll be airing with him later, he said, hey, the hikers are paying customers, right? So we want you to get out there, hike, but at the same time, just understand when they're working on the trail, you're going to be in their way because they're going to stop work to let you pass through. And that slows down work and slows down the progress. So just keep that in mind when you're considering going through those areas. I'm going to keep you updated as much as possible about what's actually, the treadway has been repaired. The treadway is under repair right now. Even as they're sawing, they are repairing the treadway. Not in all instances, but where they have a big enough crew out there that shows up, and they need volunteers to show up, then if they have like 20 and they got 6 saws, 6 sawyers would have probably 6 spotters with them, and they call them swampers carrying equipment, watching over them, and then that's 6, 6 is 12. They'd have 8 people working on the trail. So they need all the folks they can get out there to help them as volunteers. So even just so they've punched through an area, meaning they've cut the logs all the way through that section, there's still a lot of tread work that's got to be done in there. The log's going to have to be cut back some more. You know, treadway, like I said, root balls have got to be worked on. So just keep that in mind. Give them some time up there. It's just going to take some time. That's just what it boils down to. Some folks say it's not going to be 100% ready. Maybe 100% passable and hikeable, but not necessarily ready. So we're going to keep you updated, and I'm sure the ATC is going to do that as well. But suffice it to say, the trail maintainers are doing an incredible job up there. Also got, in addition to these, what I've scrolled and what I've shown you in the map, and part of that is I did want to show you around the Elk River area. So I got some pictures back from the Elk River trail maintainer that was in that area. It got totally devastated in there, so it filled up, and there's debris that's like 30, 35 feet up in trees through that area. And then here's an example of before and after where they're trying to get debris that got logged up in there and to get rid of this log jam probably took them a half day, several hours, I'm sure, just to get rid of that. So, but the trail is just simply gone in some areas in there. So that's going to be a place where they're going to have a new trail. They're just not going to be putting the stream bank, the river bank back through that area. But one of the things that I hadn't thought of until I saw these pictures is that here's a picture of a hobby horse in the middle of the river. And then there's all these wood debris that came out of houses that were destroyed and shredded and brought in there. So this is probably one of the first places the trail maintainers have gone in, and they've seen the devastation in the forest, and that's trees and wood, and that's one thing, and that's bad enough as it is because they love the forest, and they wouldn't be doing this, and they love the trail. But you go in there and now you see the human element of human possessions inside this portion of the trail. Now, certainly they've seen that out there in their communities. Some of these folks, trail maintainers, have probably lost stuff themselves, and they're selfishly out there doing that. But still, to come in the middle of the woods and to see these human possessions that have been destroyed, that's got to take a toll on you mentally. It wouldn't surprise me if some of these folks need some counseling from PTSD. Just from seeing stuff like that out on the trail. So anyway, again, I can't say enough good stuff about what's going on with the trail maintainers out there and the huge work that they're doing. MRATC, so the sawyers that were brought in by the National Park Service, funded by the ATC and the National Forest Service, along with pro sawyers and volunteers that were brought in, they have cut from Elk River south to the Tennessee-Virginia line. That is huge. So when all this first happened, you could pretty much get down to Virginia, through Virginia, until you got to Elk Garden. I think I said Elk River, I meant Elk Garden there, that's in the Mount Rogers recreational area. So once you got to Elk Garden, you were done, really until Sam's Gap, which is down in Tennessee. So that has been cleared. They are now doing treadway assessments. Part of the treadway assessments is because the funding, the $43 million that the government has set aside, they've got to justify there's damage to the trail. Yeah, go figure. So they got to go out and gather data, take pictures, submit all that, submit reports, all that bureaucratic BS that's got to happen before they can tap into that $43 million. So that's part of what is going on right now. And they don't want to go out there and just fix everything all at once, knowing that they could be getting some money from the federal government to go out there and take care of that. Now, Elk River's cut. And I say all the way to the Tennessee-Virginia line, but one issue we have is the Creeper Trail. So the Creeper Trail is between Elk Garden and the Tennessee-Virginia state line. It's actually between Elk Garden and Damascus. So the Creeper Trail lost at least 3 of the trestles associated with the Appalachian Trail. So the Appalachian Trail shares a treadway in there for like about 2 miles is all, but part of the treadway's gone. Part of the, we got 1 completely washed out trestle and 2 that are damaged and are not open. So that's going to be an issue. That may be a road walk around because it's going to be a long time before they get their trestles. Or they could choose to make that a ford. We just don't know what that's by the National Forest Service in there and the Creeper Trail Conservancy. So we're just not exactly sure about, what's going to happen there. I asked, what is the ATC planning as far as a detour road walk around that area? And Caitlin there, great information officer, she indicated right now they don't have anything planned. So all that means is they just haven't put anything together yet. I'm sure they're going to be doing that, and hopefully they'll be doing that sooner rather than later. They have promised us that they would be getting something out for the 25 hikers to let them know, understanding that it's going to take a month to 6 weeks or more to get to the damaged area if you're starting a no-bow hike down at Springer. And so one of the happenstances out of all this is the economic toll. It's bad enough the mental toll and the human toll that it's taken, but it's the economic toll that is part of the human toll that is taken on all of these folks in here. Roadrunner, who's a thru-hiker, and came up and worked for 3 days with the TEHCC Trail Club up there, out there clearing trail. She left something on her YouTube channel, and her YouTube channel is A Hiking Dancer, so go and check her out. But she gave me permission to include this, and it's another perspective from just another YouTuber out there, and somebody who's actually been out there in the field, been a thru-hiker, loves the trail. So go ahead and take it away, Roadrunner.
And I really want to say a big thank you to Boots Off Hostel, Lucky Moon, Jim, Grumpy, Flag. It's just been an amazing experience, and they have let me stay here for free, and it's just amazing. And I really want to encourage all the 2025 anticipated thru-hikers, please, if you're contemplating whether to hike the AT or the PCT, but the AT was really your first choice, stick to it. The trail maintainers are trying their darndest to make the trail happen for you for next year. And to be honest, our trail community, the hostels, we need you guys, or they need you guys. I mean, I'm not part of this hostel, even though I feel like I am, but all the hostels, all the businesses, all the towns, they are reliant on our business, hikers' business, and we cannot abandon them. So, I know I sound really passionate and emotional because I am. The trail is going to be as close to ready as possible. The maintainers are working feverishly to make it happen. And the hostels are trying to get ready for the season. So if you've considered hiking in 2025, but you're worried about it, do not be. There are going to be options. There are going to be reroutes. The trail's going to be ready. The hostels are willing to do all kinds of stuff to make this an amazing experience. And so please, 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 please consider hiking the trail and supporting the community. Because if we don't, they will not be around in the future.
So every vendor, every shuttle driver, every hostel, they are just asking to the point of begging for people to come to the trail and help them out. They need our help. They need the economic impact that we make on their business. All the towns that I've talked to in Irwin and Hot Springs and Damascus, they all echo the same thing, and all up and down the trail, they want us back out there on the trail. I was disappointed to see where Sandra Morrow, the president of the ATC, and this is not a reflection on the ATC at large, even though she's the spokesperson and president, she was quoted in the Garden and Gun as saying, for the class of 25, if you're on the fence about hiking, it's okay to wait, unquote. So I hope that was a misquote, because in my mind, it's not okay to wait. To begin with, not all the trail has been damaged. You don't need to put off your 25 hike. The trail, when you get to the damage section in 6 weeks from when you start, when you get to that damage section, there's going to be even more repairs done. And right now, there's only 30 miles left that's got to be cut for the trees. So these trail maintainers are going to be getting this ready. Vendors say they're going to be ready. Vendors that are out there, I know Unicoi Shuttle and Lost and Found Shuttle are actually on trail because they don't have any shuttles right now because of the economic impact. They're out there cutting trees, hauling trees, getting stuff, serving as swampers. So they are doing that, one, because they love the trail, and two, they want to do their part to get the trail back open so that the economy can recover up there in western North Carolina and Tennessee and Virginia. So obviously that statement does not take that into account, saying that you can just wait. I don't think they've taken such a toll. I don't think they can wait. And then 25 hikers, some folks have quit their jobs. They don't want to go hike another trail. They want to do the AT. A lot of people, that's all they want to do. They don't care about doing a Triple Crown or just doing a PCT and that's it. They want to do the AT, and they've quit their jobs. They've retired. They've put all their possessions away. They've sold their houses. There's a huge impact out there, and just to say, I'll wait till later I don't think is taking into account a lot of stuff. So I'm hoping that she was misquoted on that. As Roadrunner says, if we don't get out there and support these businesses, they're not going to be around for us later. Now, I know Grandma Gatewood didn't have all these businesses, but Grandma Gatewood did have some help. She had people that would take her in the house. People do that now. It's just called a hostel. And so let's remember that. Let's get out there and support these communities. Let's get out there. If you can volunteer on the trail, the CMC, they are having on November 30th, the weekend, the Saturday of that, up in Hot Springs. They're going to have a work day up there, but you can also go to their websites and the TEHCC and the MRATC, and you can find folks where they are having work days out there, and they'd love to have you on a crew. Now, some other news, the butternut fire up in Massachusetts, it is now contained. It's burned over 1,400 acres up there, so that's a lot of acres, but right now the AT still remains closed between mile marker Nobo 1529 to 1535, and that includes the Tom Leonard shelter. So those hot spots, it rained up there and that really knocked it down. So now they're working on hot spots and mopping up operations, and hopefully that's going to be knocked out and they'll get that back open. And then I mentioned earlier about the search for Sadie has been over. So Sadie was found. Unfortunately, Sadie was found passed away, and it had been some time that she had been passed away, and so that is so unfortunate that that's just heartbreaking that that's the way it turned out. We had hoped so much about it, and there have been so many people that have been involved. I bet there's been 10,000 people or more involved in the search for Sadie. So my heart goes out to Bright Eyes, and indeed all those people that that have helped so much for that, from the people that are out there that actually came out and actually put boots on the ground, the people that have been virtually searching for. There was over 5 dogs. I think there's at least 6 dogs, and I guarantee there's more than that because of what went on the Facebook and the notices and everything, that they were saved, and they are now dogs that didn't have a home and now have a home. So that is awesome to hear. Thank you for everybody that helped that. Please pray for Bright Eyes. I'm going to have a whole lot more in depth of how it ended, and the ending search for Sadie and all that. It'll be an interview with Bright Eyes coming up in the next week or so. So I'm looking forward to sharing that with you. But please remember her either in your prayers. If you don't pray, your good thoughts, good vibes, please send those Bright Eyes, and everybody that was part of that search in the Facebook group there. You can go to that, the search for Sadie, and you can just see the folks that have made comments to it. So that means a lot to everybody on there, and it means a lot for Bright Eyes as well. So it's a blessing she's got closure. Hopefully one day she will see Sadie on Rainbow Bridge, and I'm looking forward to seeing Sadie on Rainbow Bridge along with all my animals that have passed away as well. Then the end of day's hike, that is also coming up here. That'll start December 27th. That'll be for about 5 days to a week, depending on how long you want to be out there. That's on the Foothills Trail. So right now, the Foothills Trail is only open for the first 33 miles coming from Oconee. So that's Oconee to Whitewater Falls, I believe it is. But in any case, we're still doing that hike. Right now, it's only 33 miles open. If the rest doesn't get open, then we've got some choices we can do. We can maybe go just do the 33 and that's it. We can do the 33 and do a yo-yo out and back, and that saves folks on doing having to do a shuttle. And then we can also go do maybe the Benton Mackay. So I've got a poll about what the group, there's 400 folks in that Facebook page. I don't think everybody's going. I hope not. I don't know if we're going to fit 400 people out there on the trail. But if you're not in a part of that group, go and be a part of it. Just keep up with it, and we'd love to have you come out there on the end of day's hike. Fresh Ground will be supporting us throughout that trip, and so that is always a great trip with the hiker community. 2025 hopefuls can come out, and we'll have 2024 alum and earlier years alum that come out that have through hiked, and then people that have a lot of experience with hiking. So it'd be a great time for you to learn from others, and just the hiker community get together for fellowship and some of Fresh Ground's great cooking. Check out this video here, this list of videos. So that gives you the opportunity to go and see where we are now and how far we've come. And we have come so far, and the trail maintainers are just busting it, and I'm excited about that. Folks, that is all I've got. I know it's been a long one. Appreciate you, and we'll see you out there.